everybody, and thank you again for joining me for another Origami Thursday. Today I have what I consider a pretty easy origami task for you. It only requires 8 folds, however, you have to do it 8 times. So for my 3rd graders out there, we all know that 8 times 8 is 64. It's gonna seem a little tedious and a little boring, but at the end, when we put all of our pieces together, we're gonna get a beautiful origami spiral. So let's get started. For this origami activity, you're going to need 2 square pieces of paper as well as 1 pair of scissors. Our first step is actually going to be cutting each of these larger squares into 4 smaller squares. And I'll show you how to do that. We're going to fold all of our basic guidelines, our diagonal, as well as our left to right. Crease that nice and firm. And our up and down. Once those creases are there, we are going to cut along those lines that make it a square. For me, it's actually easier to fold it in half and fold it in half again and cut this way, because that way I can guarantee a straighter cut. And then when that's done, I actually take these 2 and I put them inside themselves again. And I cut along that closed line. This just kind of ensures a more even cut, and that at the end, all of your papers are a nice equal square size. Again here, make sure that all of our diagonal and our left to right and up and down guidelines are there. And like I said earlier, it helps me to fold it in half again, and cut. Take the 2, tuck them inside each other, and cut along that closed edge again. And when you are done, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 small square pieces of paper. So let's get started with our first piece. Set those aside, zoom in a little bit. So you should have a middle diagonal guideline. If you don't, go ahead and fold it in half, creating a triangle to get started. And we'll open that up. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna tip it diagonally, and we're gonna fold this bottom right to meet the middle line, and then the bottom left to meet this middle line. Just like this. And when that's done, we're actually going to rotate this 180 degrees and do the same. Bottom right to the middle line, bottom left to the middle line. And when that's done, do you guys see this line that's created by this flap and the line that's created by this flap? We're actually going to fold our opposite sides to meet that line like this. I'm going to rotate it again 180 degrees. I'm going to fold this bottom right line to match up with this top right slant, like this. See how that matches? And when you have that, you're going to unfold it, and you're going to do the same to the left side. This bottom left to meet this top left. Okay. And when that's done, we have these guidelines. We're going to flip this over And we're gonna create an inverted fold. We fold in on these guidelines we just created and close it up. And when you're done, we should have a little long point and a short point. It's very important to make sure that one point is longer and one point is shorter. All right, I'm gonna show you that one more time. Okay, we have our square sheet of paper. We're gonna set it diagonally like a diamond. And we're gonna start by first folding the bottom right to meet the center and the bottom left to meet the center. All right, right to the center and now left to the center. When that's done, we're gonna rotate this 180 degrees and do the same thing. Bottom right to the center and bottom left to the center. And when that's done, we once again see these lines created by our top flap, and we're going to fold our bottom right up to meet that flap line. Yep. So that guideline is created, unfold it, and we're going to do the same to the left side, this bottom left to meet that top left flap. Right. When that's done, we're actually going to unfold it, flip it to the side where there are no flaps, and we're going to do that inverted flap where we fold in on those guidelines like that, and then close it up. And once again, I have a long tip and a short tip. And if you notice, it doesn't quite matter which direction you start with, because when you're done, you will always have a long tip on the right and a short tip on the left. Flip it over, it's just the reverse. Long tip on the left, short tip on the right. So once you have those started, you're going to complete those same 8 folds with the rest of your paper. So now that we have all of our 8 pieces of paper folded, all there's left to do is put it together. I'm actually going to start with a pink piece of paper. And as you can see, remember, the right side is going to be the long tip and the left side is going to be the long tip. And I'm going to start there and grab my green one. And what I'm going to do here is that I'm actually going to insert the short side into the long side. So if you open up the green one, you can see that I can slide the pink one right inside, and now it's connected. And I'm going to keep doing that. So now that I got the green one there, I'm going to grab a pink one and slide it right inside. I'm going to keep doing that. Grab my pink one, now my green one, slide the short side into the long side. And then as you work it through, you might have to adjust it for evenness. Now I have green, grab a pink one, insert it inside, and slide it down. Pink, now green, short side, into the long side. Green, now to pink, short side, into the long side. Now that I've got my first 7, I got my last green one to go. Again, I have the short side that I'm going to insert into my long side. And when you get to this very last step, you might notice, it's really difficult to insert this flapping green one into the pink one. What do? Well, what you do is, here's my short green one, my very last green one. I'm supposed to insert it into this long pink one, but it doesn't work. So what you actually have to do is This pink one, the long one, you actually have to unfold it like that. Tuck the short green point inside, and then you just kind of fold it back into place. And now all 8 pieces are connected together, and you have a lovely little spiral, maybe even a spinner to spin. Boop, boop. All right, thanks for joining me this week, and I'll see you next time.